Okay, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We have 4 out of the 7 here. So, were you all given a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting?
Yeah, make motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Oh, we don't have Becky. That's right. So we have the controller's report.
You know, Becky's husband passed away.
No. Just recent.
The funeral was just yesterday.
Wow.
I know she usually goes through the fund balances. Everyone can see them there, I guess.
Unexpected.
Looks like year to date, transfer the regular waste is up about 40,000 and recyclables are down about 7,000. Expenditure is about the same. It's a little bit ahead of last year.
Your office hasn't received any concerns about the Becky's figures, have you, Chrissy?
No.
You guys are aware Becky's husband passed away.
Yeah,
Right? She's right, yeah.
I
No, that was Kevin.
Just thought about that.
That was Kevin.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I guess I didn't read it that good.
So, Mary, can we make a motion to approve what we have in front of us without Becky's presence?
Yeah, I think
The controller's report, generally she would present and review it, but it has been submitted, so it would be
Okay.
appropriate to approve. the
No, I'll make a motion that we accept Becky's report as submitted. I mean, I don't have any reason not to.
You make a motion to accept it, I'll approve it. I'll second.
Okay, we have motion is second. Any more discussion for the financial report? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, next we'll go to claims. Looks like we have June and July.
Yeah. June and July.
June and July. There's nothing on there that,
It's usually on.
thing out of the norm there. I don't see anything. Yeah.
So I looked at it, I didn't see anything
No.
out of the ordinary.
I'll make a motion to approve June and July claims.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, now we got payroll.
You got the same staff as always?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. We've hired a lot of elderly, and not to say, but gentlemen, we got a lot of them over 70 years old are our recyclers, and those guys are like, they're dependable, they do a great job. Yeah.
I visit them every month in
Yeah.
Monroe, and it's the same guys every month.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know me and I know them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it's a good
Well, no, I
relationship.
know Burn, down there at Burn, that's a big deal, and I think they do a lot of eating down there. A lot of those people bring them food and all kinds of stuff. They're always, they treat them like kings down there.
How many full-time people do you actually have on staff?
Well, we got 7,
Are you the
counting us in the office would
secretary,
be
right?
9, is that what it is, Chris?
Standard.
Nine.
of us.
Nine full-time.
No, I thought there was somebody.
Yeah, we got a lot of part-time.
Somebody else.
I think I'm
They do a great
something,
job.
I'm Sure.
I think you signed it standing out there.
What are there, four different payrolls, Chrissy, on this one?
Yes, there's 4 payrolls.
I move we accept the payroll schedule for all 4 pay cycles.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is second on payroll. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I see she has something about discussing checking account options. You know
I
about
bet
that?
that's what Dean's here
That's
for.
what you
Okay.
asked.
Yeah, we met with Becky and Dean and Mark. Matt, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, and discussed it, and Dean was gonna come and kind of explain what we do with our checking account and all that, so, yeah, go ahead, Dean.
Okay. I have just enough for myself and
There you go, that's right, get those guys, I'll get one.
you had, with the two no-shows, you made me
Oh,
look like
okay,
I
we
knew what
got
I was
plenty of
doing.
them.
with the number of
Okay, good
copies
deal.
I brought, so. Easy.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll kind of flip through things and, feel free to, pull in the reins and tell me to explain anything that I'm going through. First couple of pages are just kind of, you've got basically a description of what the content of the, proposal before you is. Be about page 5, gives you a summary of the current accounts that the district has with the bank. You currently have 3 checking accounts, 2 checking accounts and a regular savings account. Each account has Christy, Jeff, and Becky as signers on it. Gives you what the average balances were for 2025 for each of those accounts. The interest rates that they're currently earning. And then what, if any, services are on those accounts. So currently the primary checking account has an ACH module on it that allows Christy or Jeff or Becky to send money by ACH. I believe when we talked with Christy, she said that you are utilizing that for paying some invoices. Trying to shift a little bit more of that just to reduce the number of checks that are going out and getting payments out faster and allowing you to maybe wait a little bit longer before you have to mail something out. So that service is currently used. On page 5, it gives you a breakdown of what we're proposing to do. Basically, with interest rates having increased, we're looking at our accounts and looking at the customers that have been carrying higher balances and looking at what we could do better for them. So when I looked at with Matt at the district's checking account, the average balances carried, we realized that we could do something that would earn the district more money than they were currently earning on the checking account. So what we were proposing to do is to set up a sweep account, which to explain the sweep account, the money you have a checking account that will still be your primary means of dispersing funds through ACH or through checks. But the money that is not needed in the account to cover those items, each evening will sweep back into an interest-bearing money market savings account. So what this shows is an example of, with the average balance of $687,069, which is what the in the gray box up above, what the average balance was for the district at an interest rate of 3.1% in that interest-bearing account, there would be interest earned of $1,775 a month. So what this does is it puts every penny not being used into that interest-bearing account. So if Christy mails out checks to the tune of, $50,000, it might be 3, 4, 5, 7, however many days before that money, those checks come back through and the money actually leaves the account. With a sweep account, that money sweeps over as it's needed. So let's say that it does take 7 days for that $50,000 to clear the account. Well, with the sweep, that $50,000 is going to stay in the interest-bearing account until it's needed. You can't expect Christy to be watching the account and say, "Phew, the check didn't clear. I can still leave it in the checking account because someday they're gonna hit, and if the money's not there, now you have an overdraft situation." With the sweep, it's automatically going to pull over what's needed, when it's needed, and you will continue to earn that 3.1% interest on it until the moment that money is needed to be pulled over to cover those items. So that, based on the average balance of $687,069, would earn the $1,775 a month. Now, there is a fee that comes along with the sweep account. So for that monitoring of moving money as it's needed, when needed, that zero balance sweep fee is $250. So that would be charged monthly to keep that service moving the money back and forth between the interest-bearing account and the check. What we're also proposing is, we are seeing a lot of fraud taking place right now, and nobody is immune from it. We see businesses, we see churches, we see public entities. Everybody is a potential victim just by the very fact that you send out financial information. If you mail a check out to somebody, whoever gets that check has your routing number, it has your account number. We are seeing an increase in phone attempts at hacking into people's accounts. They can, a fraudster can put, basically a phone call comes in and it looks like it's coming from your bank. And they will convince you that, hey, there are some, social engineering. They're going to tell you there are some transactions that look fraudulent. We're going to need you to go in and look at them. And they've convinced you they are the bank. We're going to send you a link. We want you to open that link and get into your online banking and confirm that those are fraudulent. And the minute you go in and do that, they've got your account login and your password, and they're going to go in and they're going to start doing whatever they can, be it sending out ACHs, be it sending wires. They are going to, and it only takes 10, 15 minutes. So maybe by the time you realize, if you don't realize it within that amount of time, good luck trying to stop it going out. What we're recommending is that you also consider adding ACH and check positive pay. This service is every time that checks or ACHs are prepared, Christy or Becky, whoever has that responsibility, will upload a file to the bank that will show the payee, it'll show the amount being paid, and it'll show what the check number, and all that information will be compared to what clears through the account. So if I write a check to, if the district writes a check to Dean Filling for $50,000 and sends it out, and the check comes back and it says check is being paid to John Doe for $50,000, it's going to flag it. It's going to email Christy or Jeff or Becky or all three, whoever is set up to receive the notification, and say, hey, something doesn't match. Take a look at it and tell us whether this should go through or not. And that's the opportunity to say, oh yeah, that's correct. Pay it, no problem. Or wait a minute, that's wrong. That's fraud. Decline that. And it's as if the check never hits the account. It protects the money that is in the account for both fraudulent ACH or fraudulent checks being brought into the account. That service would be $100 for that. And then you've got your normal ACH service that you currently have, which would be $51. So the total would be $401 a month. So the net, after you take the total interest of $1,775, net the 401 out, you would have income of $1,374 net to the bottom line of the district based on your current average balances. So with the sweep, you're getting interest earnings on every penny that's in the account. And with the positive pay, you're getting the protection of the funds that are in the account as well. That $1,374 would be that's up to a little over $16,000 a year. That would net to the line of the district. I know that questions have been asked as to, okay, what are some other options we can consider that, if the fee is an issue, you could consider doing things such as creating a separate money market account to put, let's say, half the unused funds into, or whatever you feel comfortable. It's liquid that can be moved back and forth, in order to make sure that you're earning the same 3.1%. Now, you're gonna have to keep some money in the active checking account to make sure the items going through can be cleared, so there would be a portion of the money that isn't going to be earning the same interest rate that the money market account would pay. So the other interest earning options are listed on the right-hand side there under that gray box. So if you were to put half of the average balance into a money market account, that would earn $887 a month. Or if you were to put some money into a CD, which obviously that makes that money somewhat illiquid, you could get to it if you were willing to break the CD. If you were to go with a 6-month CD, you'd make $321 a month, currently at 3.85%, or a 12-month CD at 3.80 would earn $317 a month on $100,000. So just throwing those out as if the sweep is something that, okay, you know, we would prefer to do something that didn't carry a fee. These are some options that could do that. So we wanted to present that to the boards just for consideration as well. The remainder of this presentation just tells you a little bit more about some other services that are available, gives you some more statistics about fraud that you definitely want to be conscious of, you want to be prepared for, and protect yourself from attempts to steal money from the district, which is the big reason why we wanted to we encourage you to consider all of the services we're providing is because with the interest you'd be earning, not only does it offset the fees that would be charged, it earns far more interest than what the district had been earning in the previous years, which is, you know, just given our rate environment, is a great opportunity. So I'll open up for any questions that I got. I won't dig through the rest of this because it's more for informational purposes. So
Dean, what is that sweep rate based on?
that is set by the bank. It's based on what our current cost of funds is,
Okay.
and it is subject to change.
So
So it
it's-
could go up. could
So
go
it's
down.
really not pegged to any index, it's set
Correct.
uh,
Set
Objectively by the bank.
Yes.
Okay.
Using that sweep account, does that create any more work on the district?
No, it's all done in the back room. The bank takes care of it automatically. So it looks a little goofy because you've got a checking account that's setting at 0, you know, at the end of every night, because it's going to sweep over to earn interest. And if, say, $10,000 comes into the account the next day, 10,000 will sweep over to cover those items, and whatever else is out there still hanging in float is still earning interest because it's not needed yet.
Sure.
So there's a monthly report then on everything? Is that the way it works?
Yes, the district would still receive their normal bank statements.
Just be a part of their statements.
And
Oh,
they
okay.
would see
They just add another accounts
transactions,
and statements.
the money what's in the money market and what's in the checking account. So you basically you're kind of operating off of the combined total of those two accounts, the money market account and the checking account.
And you've done this
Years.
with other municipalities and state board of
Years.
accounts, does it have any issues with it or anything like that?
It's acceptable to
Okay.
State
Well,
Board of Accounts. I had actually talked to another public fund and they reached out to the State Board of Accounts.
Yeah.
Just for their own peace of mind and confirmed that, yeah, that there are a lot of public entities that are using these.
Yeah.
Just to,
I agree.
you know, to maximize unused funds and be good stewards with the money that you have.
I think it's important that we have the protection. Just curious, do you think the ultimate gain on the sweep account business would exceed $400 a month?
Yes, based on the averages that the district has been carrying, it absolutely would.
Sounds like a win situation to me. Steve,
I-
you're more familiar with
No,
that
I
stuff
agree.
than I am.
I
that's for
think
sure.
it's a good I think it's a good opportunity. I don't know whether you guys use any of this in the, no, you don't.
We don't have that now.
Right.
Right. No, I appreciate that you brought it to our attention.
Yeah.
Reaching out to show us where we can make a little more income.
And I highly recommend the positive pay just because
I know we have a lot of municipalities and government entities that are going to positive pay as well, both ACH and check. I think it's, Christy, do you know, was your software such that you could dump out a file to the bank easily to make the positive pay system work?
That's what we were just discussing.
My guess is it does.
we provide training, when, when a customer decides to add this to their banking system, they'll go through training with our staff. Basically, they're going to use, and spouting words I don't totally understand, so don't ask deep questions here, but you're gonna use a CSV file as comma separated value. So that is an option, let's say that you can upload into, Excel. And that will be one of the options you can choose as to the type of file you want to save it as. And once you've done that, then it is uploaded into our system. And our system that at that point knows who's the payee, what's the dollar amount, and what's the check number that should be coming through. So if someone, gets your routing number, your account number, creates some check number that doesn't match with your sequence, it'll kick it out. If the payee doesn't match, that somebody whitewashed a name off of it and inserted their own name, it will kick it out. And you've got until 1 o'clock each day to go in and adjudicate and decide on any checks that don't match and say whether to reject or whether to pay. The nice thing about positive pay, unlike, let's say that you were very diligent and Christy went in, saw in the morning that, hey, a fraudulent check just cleared our account and calls the bank immediately. The key word there is cleared your account. That money is off in electronic land being sent to another bank. We would have to contact that bank, provide them with an indemnity letter that says this is fraudulent. We're not going to hold you. We will hold you from all liability of us telling you something that's wrong, and we want our money back. Hopefully you get it back, if you don't notice it right away, and that individual that received the money or withdraws it, there's no guarantee you would ever get it back. With positive pay, it's as if the check never hit your account. It becomes a non-event.
It's looked at before it actually
Yes.
transacts against the account, so.
So it never leaves the check.
I know we have a lot of folks that are opting for that too, so I think I think as long as you can crank that file out, even for, I think even like if you handwrite checks or if you have to do a manual check or something like that, there's an arrangement there where you can actually enter that manual check if it's not part of your AP system or whatever.
And there are customers that, I don't want to mess with that. I'll just decision every check every day.
Yeah.
And that can be done, but if you're only writing, say, 3 or 4 checks a week, that's not insurmountable to do. I mean, for onerous to do that. But, it does make life simpler if you just aren't getting emails because the information is matched up with what you're telling us.
How long will it be before someone figures out how to get around this positive pay thing?
Positive pay has been around for
Years.
a decade anyway,
So
so
they haven't
it's
cracked it yet.
still pretty effective.
Yeah. It seems like everything's a challenge.
You're right,
I
though,
was gonna say, Somebody somewhere
There-
at some
Oh,
point
yeah.
will likely be able to get through. But unless and until then, it's a really strong mechanism to protect against fraudulent transfers.
But the ones I've seen lately have been fraudster will, let's say, if Christie does the day-to-day banking and knows it backwards and forwards, somebody will get a hold of, hey, Jeff's the guy in charge. I'm gonna call him and say, hey, we've got fraudulent transactions, Jeff. We need to get into your account and have you confirm that these aren't fraudulent. And you're like, I don't do that stuff. Hey, Christie, the bank wants you to do this. And basically you've authenticated them by handing the phone to her and she's goes along with it willingly and says, oh, okay, I'll click on this link, and that's where they've been having some success. We just tell our customers to tell them, hey, you know what? I'm gonna call the My Bank
But I'll
Direct.
call you.
I'm gonna
Can't
call,
trust anybody.
you can call me. you
Yeah,
can
don't
call
trust
our
anybody.
Banking center, don't, we won't
Sad.
call you and ask you to click on a link. We're gonna tell you to go in and get into your online banking if something looks amiss. But, yeah, it's deal with someone you know who you're dealing with. Until AI can sound like me and you think you're calling me, then we'll have another can of worms to deal with. But that's the, and then we're also seeing, email, fraud being committed through email where they'll get into a system. So suddenly Trista gets a email from Jeff saying, hey, the banking information for such and such changed. They just sent it to me. Please update our ACH system. And then suddenly you're getting a call from a vendor saying, hey, you haven't paid my invoice yet. Well, yeah, I paid it last week. I put your new banking information in. You didn't change any banking information. So have procedures that require you to call and verify emails asking for changing banking information with using a number is the accurate number to that.
Not the number they give you on the email. Oh, yeah, that's, yeah, we made that change.
They've been doing it this way for years, and they just change a little bit
Yeah.
every so often, and suddenly you fall for something you would have known better than to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these are positive pay is definitely something that can help. Again, you're matching what comes through with what you've told the bank should be.
At this point in time, we're not involved with that, what Dean's talking about, is that correct?
I don't think we're using positive pay now, so we would have to, I assume we would have to make a motion, take an action to make these changes. And I guess that, are you, is it your recommendation that we do these? Christie, what do you think?
I think it might be a good idea to do positive pay.
Okay, what about the change in the sweep account? Are you comfortable with that?
I mean, it'd be a learning process,
Yeah.
but I don't think it'd be a huge.
So most of this stuff, works through your bank and then you communicate with Christie and that's the way it works.
Yeah.
It just would be getting accustomed to the new look in the account that you're looking at your checking account.
Yeah, when you go to balance it, but the statement would, you'd be balancing to a different statement.
And Becky said she has customers that use a sweep arrangement. so
Sure,
she has
that she does.
familiarity with it.
Yeah,
That between you and Becky, you can both get comfortable with making sure that you know what you're
That's a
looking
good
at.
question.
And
Becky had
Yeah.
totally up
Yeah.
to speed.
I don't
with
think
this stuff.
Becky had a problem at all, because when we met, she was.
What do you think,
all
Steve?
on
Is this
board.
good
I
thing?
do. I think they're both good options.
Okay.
I just, Jeff, are you good with
Yeah,
this?
I'm good with, like I said, I liked what they were doing, the amount that we could make off of it, you talk like, $16,000 we could.
Yeah, I mean, it's a net positive and it's protection.
I'd make a motion that we make these two changes, that we go to positive pay and ask First Merchants to set us up in a sweep account that would a zero balance sweep account.
Second.
Yeah, motion is second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, same sign. Thanks, Dean.
Dean, thanks for coming.
Thank you for your time.
Nice seeing you
Thank you.
again.
Good seeing you, Dean.
Stay off ladders.
I will.
And, yeah, I've had a few close calls too, so. Hopefully by your age, I just have, I'm gonna hire somebody.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, I won't.
You don't get smarter as you get older, I don't think.
More determined.
Yeah, that's it.
I can still take
Hey,
this.
Dean, tell your father I said hello.
I'll do that. Thank you. Yep, I'll tell them.
Okay, Jeff, on to old business. I don't see anything on the agenda.
I don't have any old business, new business.
How about new business?
No, nothing.
And the director's report looks like a policy discussion.
Yeah, and I did add to that, Christie, we forgot about it, we needed to talk a little bit about what we're planning on with the budget too, so we can, because September, we gotta start nailing that down. But anyways, on the policy discussion, the only reason I brought that up was because there was I know a couple of commissioners were contacted by, Mr. Luganville about opening the trash up, out of county, out of state. And I just wanted, I thought maybe he would be here. I never got any, he wanted to sit down and talk. I know he talked to Doug, and I don't know if he talked to you, Steve.
So he's talked to me on the phone. Yeah, we talked quite a while on the phone.
Stan, but, I didn't know if that was, I put it in here just in case he was here to talk about it.
Sure.
I've looked back through all the files, and there was a 20-year plan that was put together when they were talking about doing the transfers or the landfill back in like 1995. But they didn't, it was a 20-year plan was that we would never accept out of state or out of county trash.
Right.
Okay?
It's defined in our contract.
But then it is defined in our waste management contract with them that we just realized. So I mean, it's there, but it was an ugly situation back when we were putting that together. And I know her dad was involved in all that. But they had enough trouble even discussing the landfill, then the transfer station. They definitely didn't want trash from other entities. Because at one time, apparently, we took trash from all over at the North Landfill. They were taken from other states and stuff at one time. That's what helped fill up our landfill out there, the North Landfill, so much quicker than what was kind of anticipated. So, I understand, kind of maybe his side. He's wanted to open him up some more options, bring some trash in, make a little bit more money. But for us, our facility is not made for a lot of more trash. I mean, 90% of the time we're okay. There's 10% that it could be coming out the doors because we're just not built big enough to handle a lot of trash. I mean, I've said this all along, the way it's set up, we have to put everything in the truck pretty quick. If we had a bigger area, if we were going to start doing that, I feel we'd have to build on. And you would have to have an area where, like, we could do a lot better job of selecting trash. We could put shingles on one side that's really heavy and kind of space them out, and then put light stuff. We could get even out our loads a lot better if we had that option. But the way we are now, when everything's there, it's got to go in the trucks. There's no, it may be maybe cloth from Smith Brothers. It don't weigh anything, but it's got to put in there, and it is what it is. But I think with what we've got, it's a good thing. And I think you open up a can of worms if you open it up to, and like you said, we got a contract with Waste Management. We don't want to interfere with that at all.
So currently, does our policy restrict us to only in-county trash? Do we have a policy that says that?
Contract with both Luganville and Waste Management.
In there,
Defines
But we
trash.
don't have an operating policy or a district policy that specifies that. Is that correct?
We don't have a specific policy, but because it is contracted the way it is, and we cannot deposit
Sure,
waste to Jay County.
We wouldn't have a
from other
contract of anywhere to
counties.
dispose of it if we allowed it to come in.
We'd have to come up with some other option if we began to allow trash from other counties or states to come through the transfer station. We would need a different disposal site or an amendment or adjustment to our existing contract to be able to deal with it for final disposal.
Do you think there's any need to create a policy that specifies that, or are you comfortable with where we're at now with just the fact that our contract doesn't allow it?
I don't think, even if our policy said we would accept it, we have a contract that says we can't dispose of it.
I guess I would be more leaning toward a policy that says we won't accept it.
Or a policy that says we follow the contracts that we have. I mean, the contract spells it out. The policy
Right.
should just say
But
that,
obviously, we could renegotiate the contract, or contract
Right.
except for renegotiation, and we could make that change. But if we had
I
a
see what you're
policy that
saying.
specified that
it doesn't allow us to make the contract.
then that would drive contract negotiation.
could a
we
resolution
could
be
do-
put in?
We could, if you would like, if it would clarify things, there can certainly be a resolution or a policy implemented that specifies that. It's been the policy for the existence of the Adams County Solid Waste Management District that only solid waste from Adams County is accepted. And so even without a formal declaration to that effect, that has been the longstanding policy of the district. And it has been incorporated into every contract for waste disposal that's been done since.
So you don't see a need to change?
I don't
make any changes?
necessarily see a need to
Okay.
put it in formal writing, but if that is something that the board wants to do, you certainly have the ability to do so.
I'm less is better. So if you don't think we need it, I'm not pushing for anything. I just,
Yeah.
knowing that that's our position, I was just questioning whether we needed to state that more affirmatively, that that was our position.
And with Rubenville, they simply need to look to the terms of their contract and how waste is defined. And it's defined as being a trash that's accumulated within Adams, within our municipalities, within our county. And that is what we're allowed to dispose of to our, that's what they're allowed to haul, and that's what we're allowed to dispose in FJ County landfill.
They have more options now. Wells County has opened up, there's a private, Connors built a private,
Yeah, I saw that.
transfer station now. So there's more of an option for people in Wells County and some of these others now to take their trash there, but,
What are the options in Wells County? Like if someone had a truckload of stuff they need to get rid of?
I don't know what the costs were, but they're a lot more.
Is that what it is? They're just more expensive?
They came and we helped out a lot. They came and looked at our facility because they were gonna start something. So we were nice enough to show them a lot of stuff and they based a lot on how ours was built. I've never been over and went through it. I drove by it, but I know their rates are a lot higher than ours, and it seems to be working out for them, but I don't think we lose a lot. We always sent Wells County, we tell people we don't take Wells County trash, so it's made an option for them over there. See a big change.
I'm good.
Okay, any more discussion? Okay.
And I'm sorry, I did want to talk about the budget.
Okay, so we have the budgets, that's what I say.
Yeah, Christie and I sat down and I guess we just needed to, we've done this in the past, we kind of get an idea of what the council was talking about giving for wages, and we heard it was 4%. Is that, Lenny, is that what you guys are proposing, was 4% for wages? So just like we've tried to do in the past, we try not to pat ourselves any more than anybody else. We try to stick with what the county does and what we'd like to do a 4% for our employees, just like the county does. And Christie, you want to look at what you did on your budget? What was our total percentage that we've added to our budget?
Total, we are increasing the budget 3.19%, so that's 45,695 increase from this year.
You might, Chrissy, on the financial services, if we just approved an extra 401 a month, so you might want to include that $4,800 more
Okay.
on that line.
True.
We were looking at, one thing we raised was the, to clean up the ditch. I think Mike's here now, but the north landfill, we talked about that before. That ditch needs cleaned up along there, so we put some more money in the budget for that. We're gonna try to do a lot of the work ourselves this fall, just based on how much time we got to cut trees down and stuff. Some of the county or us employees, and between them and the surveyor's office help us out. We'll start to clean that ditch. So really, that's about the only thing we put any money in was for that. What else, Christie, was in?
We lowered the vehicle and equipment, because right now we don't plan on buying any new vehicles. So we decreased that by 55,000. The only other main one was uniforms. They just notified me that they're gonna increase the uniforms in all our supplies we get from Cintas by $65 a week. So that's why I included that, because it goes in effect August 1st of this year. So I increased that.
So your grounds maintenance went up quite a bit. What's that?
That was for
That
that.
was for the ditch.
That's for
The
cleaning
ditch
the
cleanup.
ditch is what we're. It's something that's needed done. We got like you said, we got the transfer station done nice. Now we're just spraying the wheel. We do spray the weeds or the brush on that. So we get that cleaned, we'll be and stay on top of it, hopefully. We won't have that come up in 20 years from now, have to clean it again if we keep it sprayed, and keep it knocked down.
Good. Looks like a good plan to me.
What was the county wanting to, the budget no more than? Ask for a 5% increase or something.
Yeah, I think they've said anything less than 7 or 8, I forget what you settled on, Lenny,
Yeah, something like
would
that.
be kind of approved without question.
7%, I believe it was.
7 maybe.
So, yeah, we're just, because next month, because we'll have a meeting, we'll be in September, so we gotta finalize everything. So we just wanted to give you guys what we had put together and let you take a look at it, see what you think.
Now, the outside, the airspace, that's already set by contract, right? The increase.
And that's based on, it's capped at 5%. So we know year over year that there's a maximum 5%.
How long a contract do we have with Jay on that side?
It's up to 20 years. I mean, it can be.
It can be, it's 5 years with a renewal and then.
So we're good yet. I mean, we're not at the 5-year point, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's been a few years now.
We're 2.5 years into it.
Okay, good. And waste hauling, as far as waste hauling, did, can't think of the
Moving
name.
bill.
Luke and Bill, they gave you a basic increase on that?
Similar
Yep,
concept.
They get the same thing.
Oh, they got the same, okay,
Yeah, they're set up the same way. They can't go over 5%.
okay.
So do you want action on this month, or do you want to does it come back to us in a more formal way, or do we need to approve this month?
I don't think we need to. I mean, we just bring
When,
it up,
do they do their budget the same as the county in September?
same page so we can, what's that?
Do you do your, budget approval? Is that done in September, the same as the county?
Yes.
Yes.
But we have to go before, do we have to present our budget in September to the county?
Yeah, we have to.
Today would be an appropriate time
Okay.
to move forward with
Okay.
approval.
Because the
as
council's
presented.
gonna ask if their board's approved it.
Correct.
Right.
And we're not going to meet before we go before county council to
Okay.
present.
Steve, I don't have any problems as long as the $401 a month is added in.
I agree.
I was gonna say the same
Nice
thing
catch.
about that.
Yep.
So,
It could be a couple of amendments or adjustments were recommended to, with regard to like the new bank charges and
Right.
fees. So, rather than approve as presented, it could be first adjusted for that line item and then approved as amended.
You need a motion, Dan, on that?
Yeah.
I move that we, accept the proposed budget with the amendments possible.
Second.
okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those same sign. Okay, thank you for your work on the budget. Okay, then we are on to district attorney's report. Anything?
Keeping an eye on SEA and new changes that are gonna be forthcoming, so, with the district being, considered a non-municipal taxing unit, there are going to be shifts and changes in budgeting and how money is received and how revenues are. There's nothing that needs to be addressed now, but coming in 2027, there's gonna be some pretty significant changes. So know that I'm aware of changes that are happening. No one is very clear on what they're ultimately going to be. This new legislation is rough at best and likely gonna see a lot of tweaks over the next couple of years. So know that the district may be significantly impacted unless things change and are adjusted in next year's legislation, so. That's kind of all I have, and I know that we are recording now. At this point, we'll be doing that from here on out.
Right.
We'll be archiving those for at least 90 days, and creating a link on the website, so. That's all I got today.
Good.
Thank you. Anything from the public?
Yes, well, Surveyor's office.
Hi to public.
Hi. We have requested bids to dip the Amstutz Lawn from 850, the levee road, to the river to clean out that sediment in there. I have beginning paperwork for IDNR because we have to get a determination and all that we can do it. So it's in a wetland, so. Nothing more on that until we go farther. I'll let you.
Is that, that section, is that actually on solid waste property then, Mike?
Yes and no, because your description is still the old description there, the old channel, not the new channel. So, yeah, I think we could say it is on beside your property.
West side of the property. The west side, it'd be the ditch be on
Yeah,
the west side.
Yeah, the west side, yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of sediment in there. The guys are having trouble operating the pumps.
You have to debrush anything to get to it?
Yeah, we'll have to, that's probably half the job is getting to the ditch.
Not a lot of big
Yeah.
trees.
Not a lot of them, just small ones, yeah.
Nothing
So,
like the other.
Well, the thing is, who would be responsible to make sure that the brush isn't growing on the, once you debrush it, whose
Well,
responsibility is
I
it to
mean, normally
treat that
the
stuff?
landowner, that's.
But that's us.
Yeah, yeah. We have the ditch spray program, if you wanna spray either.
Yeah,
one.
that's once that's.
Well, and
cleaned up,
I'd say
that'll
we
be another
talked
Once that's
about
cleaned off, that'll be another thing we spray. too.
it's something
Yeah.
else that we maintain.
I just bought a sprayer that, we had one we borrowed from the sprayers. I
Yeah.
just bought
Well,
one.
not only spray, but on the, if there's any stumps.
Yeah. Oh,
Put
yeah.
cordon on them. it won't
Yeah,
grow
we put
back.
that,
Yeah, if you cut anything, stump treatment.
Yeah,
yeah, we did that. And that's like I
Okay.
said, we're gonna get on that and we'll be spraying it every year.
It's just a challenge getting down in there. to
Yeah,
it, and
yeah.
Not operating on
Yeah.
the cap. That's what we put in the bid. I have
so just out of curiosity, Mike, when the final costs come for that project, is it billed to solid waste district or?
I'm looking at the drainage board can take care of it all right now.
Okay.
Depending on the bid. That's why I actually did the bids early so that I can tell you what's going on.
Okay,
So,
Good deal. And we'll be paying for the one out the north landfill. That's why I told him.
Yeah, I agree, yeah,
And get started on that.
yeah, and our guys will work, because the winter time is the best time for our guys to do that. too, So
We'll get her.
that's no problem. Since
Start.
you let us live there anyway.
There you go. Live there.
All right, well, thanks for the update.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
you.
Thank you.
this was in my folder.
That's a recap of the
That's just what we have at
investment
Northwest.
accounts,
Oh, okay,
trust accounts.
okay.
Good.
Okay, seeing no more public comment. Anything else for the good of the order?
Motion adjourned.
Motion second, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Same sign.
now Dan,